All right, Abington, let's do some Zoom stuff. Zoom and also Cisco has WebEx. There are two platforms that have been, I guess, unlocked. The features have been unlocked for us as teachers, so we can use them to, I guess, host virtual classrooms and things. And also, you can also record using the software, which makes it really easy to record what you're doing. So if you don't want to have like a virtual classroom, you can record yourself doing something, like teaching a lesson, and then putting that onto Classroom yourself. So instead of using ScreenCastify or anything else out there, I think this is a really nice option, and it does really good video. So first thing, what you want to do is you want to go to your personal laptop that we got from the schools, and it's already installed. So if you hit the Windows key on the keyboard and then type in Zoom, it's going to launch the application. Okay. And again, if you don't know what I just did there, just hit start, type in Zoom, and then it'll run. Typically, it's going to have a sign-in screen. Make sure you click sign in with Google. Use your school email address and password. And like I said before, they unlocked, the limited time limit, they unlocked to be unlimited, so we can use this all day if we choose. Now, if you go over here to new meeting, which is what I'm typically going to use, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to say use my personal meeting ID. Okay. What that's going to do, it's going to start my Zoom on a static URL. So I can get a web address that I can send to all my students that will not change, like, ever. And personally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one website that they can go to and start the Zoom, instead of not using this, because if you don't use this, the URL is going to change every time I create a new meeting, and that's good for privacy, right? Like if you're trying to disseminate some private information, you don't want to have a static URL that people can just log into. But again, it's like a public classroom, so to speak, so I want them to be able to come in easily using one address instead of having to search for it. And it helps me also because I don't have to put up a new URL each time. Anyway, enough talking about that. Again, use my personal meeting ID, and you're more than welcome to experiment otherwise, but that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go to new meeting. Now, join with computer audio. Click this because you want your computer to transfer the voice over the internet instead of using your phone, which you can do. And typically right now, this would be a video of your face. But since I'm using a different software to record, it can't do two at once, so I can't see the video. But just don't be alarmed when you see yourself staring back at you. Now, most importantly, this invitation URL, if you copy it, this is the link that you want to put on Classroom or whatever. And again, this is the URL that will not change. So this is going to be the internet address that your students will use. Well, I'm going to use for the duration of my time using Zoom until the end of the school year. So make sure again, to get to here, you hit this little this information circle up here, and then go to copy URL, and then it saves this to the clipboard. Now, for features in Zoom, we have a couple of things here. One, I can mute myself so if they can't hear me. And we have video. You can stop your video feed if your kid walks in and they have paint all over their face and you have to yell at them. You can click this to stop video so they can't see you talking to your children. If you go to manage participants, which is down here, you have a list of kids that are available. And what I'm going to do personally is if I go down here where it says more, I'm going to mute participants on entry. Because I don't want them coming in, hearing background noise and hearing The Price is Right on the TV and all that stuff. So I'm going to make sure they're muted, and I'm not going to allow participants to unmute themselves. So I'm going to make sure that that's not checked, because I'm going to control, for me personally, who's going to talk and whatever. Because sometimes kids will unmute themselves and not even realize that they're unmuted, and adults do it too, and it's just annoying to hear the background noise. Play, enter, exit chime, that's going to be when they come in or leave. You're going to hear a little chime of people coming in. That's annoying. I turn that off. And lock meeting is going to stop people from coming in once like your classroom is set and you don't want like other intruders or whatever. Just hit lock meeting. And so anyway, that's in the participants little menu here. Okay. Now, if we go into the chat feature, and I'm just making sure that you can see it. So there are going to be different options down here as well. Okay. So in this group chat, participants can chat with host only, so they can message you. They can do everyone publicly, like they just send a blast message out there, like, hey, how's everybody doing? Or what's the question? You know, can I have a question or whatever? And everybody can see it. Or everyone publicly and privately, which means they can do everything I said, but also be able to chat IM with one another without me seeing that. And personally, I'm not going to use that because it's like kids chatting in class and it's distracting. So I will probably either do everyone publicly, maybe not even that. I'll probably just do host only so they can message me if they have questions. And so make sure that you have this little group, the chat up. If you don't, like you might get a little bubble down here on the chat, but it won't show up unless you actually have it open. So make sure you do that. One thing I forgot to mention, in manage participants, when you want to unmute somebody, you go over to their name and then you just hit mute or unmute. If you right click or if you hit more, there's different options here, which is like, you know, mute, block, remove from the room. You know, there's a bunch of things that you can do here. And so like you can stop their video if the, you know, something's happening, you don't want your kids to get distracted. It's up to you how you want to do it. Okay, and again, it's all in the options. Just burrow through it a little bit. It's pretty simple. Another option is you can send files to your students through the chat. So if on your computer you have a file that you want to send to everybody, you can just double click that and it uploads that file. So if you have like a PDF that you want everybody to see and you want them to have a copy of it on the computer, you can just tell everybody to download it within your chat. You can connect your Google Drive or your Dropbox, whatever. It's a little bit weird. There's a little bit of a bug. If you can see here, the Google Drive has the OneDrive logo and Microsoft OneDrive has the Google Drive logo. This Google Drive with the Microsoft OneDrive logo is the Google Drive connection, and you have to link the two, and it's pretty painless, but you can upload anything from your Google Drive to the chat and they can download it there. Anyway, so that's just an option for you. When we share a screen, there's a couple different options, okay? We can have one participant share at a time, multiple participants share simultaneously, probably won't do that. Who can share? You can say only you can let everybody share, and this is going to say who can start sharing when anybody or someone else is sharing. And I'm probably only going to do only host in this case, or maybe just make it so only I can share, and then turn this to all participants when I want my students to share what they have on their screen. Now, what can they share? So what they can share is a couple things. One, they can share a screen. So my monitor right here, if I hit share, you can see my monitor. I can go to Google or whatever your favorite search engine is and type in whatever I want to search. And this is what they see. If you see the green sort of bar that's around the screen, like that's their view. And so on my other monitor, it's not, you know, they're not seeing anything else. So that's my private monitor. This is my personal monitor here. And then go up here and stop share. Now, when you do share your screen, you're going to have a little video of yourself pop up, which I think is good because they, you know, they can see you and everything. And I think it's good to personalize your videos with your face. And so just be aware of that. And again, it's not showing up right now on this recording because I'm using different software and it's occupying the camera. So other things that you can share a little whiteboard which you can draw on and do all this stuff, and you can go ahead and put in text and, you know, what have you. And that's pretty useful. And you can also share your iPhone or iPad. And so in order to do this, you have to make sure that your iPad is connected to the same network that your computer is connected on. And then if you go ahead and get into your iPad here, go ahead and swipe down And then you can hit screen mirroring, which is located right here. And you can say the Zoom file, and it's going to go ahead and start this. It only works for Apple at the moment. So if you don't have an Apple device, then it's, I don't know. I guess you'll wait for the next update. Hopefully, we'll see. So as you can see, they can see all that there. And if you have a fancy pen like I do, you can annotate and draw or do whatever you need to on your iPad here. When you're done, you just go down here, hit this button here, stop mirroring, and then make sure that you stop sharing this as well. Yeah, so I think that's mostly it. So the last thing I wanted to show you is the record function. When you hit record, it's going to start recording the session, so all the kids and whatever. But if you just want to record yourself and record like a lesson or a presentation, like I would say start a new meeting by yourself and then go ahead and record, and then it'll record your screen, it'll record your, when you do the sharing and things like that, and so they can see all this, and then when you're done, what you have to do here is go down to the bottom, hit stop recording, and then it says up here the recorded file will convert to MP4 when the meeting ends. So when you hit end meeting for all, what happens is it's going to convert, and then you're going to see the window pop up here. So this is going to be where this file is. When you hit record, it's going to record. And I don't like hearing myself, so I'm going to stop it. But you can see the video is not bad. The quality is pretty clear. And so I think it's a nice recording platform for us to use. So the frame rate's good, et cetera, et cetera. And so, again, if you... How do I get this? So, and it's this file here. Now, if you don't know where that is, let's say you close that out by accident. If you go to File Explorer or My Computer or whatever, and you go over to Documents here, and you go to Zoom, and there's this folder that's going to have where that information is. And again, it's up to you how to share that. If you want to share it in Google Classroom or YouTube or whatever you want to do, it is right there. So anyway, I try to keep this under 10, but I'm at like 12:38 right now, so I apologize. But I hope everything's going well. Miss you guys, love you guys, and I pray, well, maybe not that, but I hope that we are all doing well. So listen, take care, and I'll see you hopefully soon. All right, bye.